Hi, welcome to Pixelize the Scene on Fabry Disease. In this image, we'll cover everything you need to know about this lysosomal storage disorder, including its pathological cause, its clinical features, as well as the late complications of the disease. Let's jump right in. This scene takes place in a fabric store. Welcome to Fabry's Fabrics, where you can find the best fabric goods, including apparel and home decorations. The word fabric should help you remember the name Fabry in Fabry disease. Let's see what this store has to offer. First, notice this ice storage box on the right. What's an ice machine doing in a fabric store anyways? I don't know. Anyways, ice is a recurring symbol for lysosomes, which we like to call isosomes. This ice storage container in the fabric store is here to help you remember that Fabry disease is a lysosomal storage disorder. Next, notice these Christian fabrics with crosses being featured on the back wall. This cross should make you think of the letter X, which is why crosses are a recurring symbol for X-linked inheritance patterns. At Pixelize, we represent X-linked recessive inheritance with crosses alone, while X-linked dominant patterns are additionally symbolized by the Pope, usually holding a cross. This cross-themed fabric should help you remember that Fabry disease is inherited in an X-linked recessive pattern. Afterwards, take a look beneath our feet at the floor. It looks like management is adding a ceramic tile flooring. Pretty classy if you ask me. Let's pay specific attention to these ceramic tiles. Notice how they're shaped like hexagons and how the colored tiles are being laid down in groups of 3? Well, these hexagon ceramic tiles in groups of 3 should help remind you of the substance, ceramide trihexoside. Notice how there's a lot of extra tiles lying around, also in groups of 3? You could even say that there is an accumulation of these colored tiles or ceramide trihexoside in the store. We've drawn this here to help you remember that the key pathology behind Fabry disease is the accumulation of ceramide trihexoside in cells. So why does this stuff accumulate anyways? Just like the other lysosomal storage disorders, this buildup is caused by the deficiency of an enzyme. In this case, we're talking about an enzyme that normally breaks down ceramide trihexoside. This deficient enzyme in Fabry disease is called alpha-galactosidase A. To help you remember this fact, take a look at this galactic soda machine. The words galactic soda should help you remember the term galactosidase. The fact that this machine is empty should also help you remember that Fabry disease is caused by a lack of galactosidase, which normally breaks down ceramide trihexoside. As a result, ceramide trihexoside accumulates in cells and organs, leading to the clinical features of the disease. Now, let's shift gears and talk about what these clinical features actually look like. First, check out these lightning-themed fabric socks and gloves on display. If you've watched our scene on crab disease, you would know that lightning-themed apparel is a recurring symbol for peripheral neuropathy. The accumulation of ceramide trihexoside causes metabolic disturbances in neurons, especially long unmyelinated nerves. This manifests as lightning shock-like tinglings known as paresthesias, as well as numbness secondary to loss of sensation. Just remember our lightning-themed fabrics, and you'll be sure to remember the peripheral neuropathy that occurs in Fabry disease. Next, notice these polka dot fabrics on display. These red spots are here to help you remember the appearance of angiokeratomas, benign tumors of the capillaries which appear as red spots on the skin of patients with Fabry disease. Metabolic changes also occur in endothelial cells, promoting the formation of these tumors, which are most commonly found on the trunk, the buttocks, and the thighs of patients. Next, take a look at this painting of a desert on the back wall. This dry desert picture should remind you of the symptom of hypohidrosis, or dry skin resulting from decreased sweating. The metabolic changes in Fabry disease affect nerves controlling sweat glands, as well as the sweat glands themselves, leading to decreased sweat production and dry skin. In summary, these two dermatologic features, angiokeratomas and hypohidrosis, are important to know for your exams. When these two seemingly harmless symptoms occur together, they can suggest a far more serious systemic disease with deadly long-term complications. So what are these late complications? Let's focus on the couch in the back, underneath the sign that reads, "Now open late." Notice how we've drawn broken pillows shaped like hearts and kidneys on this couch. In patients with Fabry disease, ceramide trihexoside deposits over time in the walls of the heart as well as the glomeruli of the kidney. This results eventually in heart failure and end-stage renal disease. In your exam, you may be given symptoms which you recognize as part of Fabry disease, but that's usually not enough. The question may then ask you what the most common cause of death is in this patient. If you remember our heart and kidney-shaped pillows here, you'll know that heart failure and kidney failure are the complications most often causing death in patients with Fabry disease. And that's all we have for Fabry disease. Just remember our tile flooring, our fabric displays, as well as our pillows, and you'll have any question you get on Fabry disease under wraps. We'll see you next time.